All right, we are live. Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. I pray that all is well and you all are in the best of health and spirits on this beautiful Thursday. All right, we are coming on for another episode of our Health and Wellness Power Hour with my brother Sean Ali. So, as you all come in, go ahead and share the video for us. Sharing is caring. Brother Sean, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
All is well, sis. Ain't us, all is well. Alive in the midst of life and all that stuff.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yo. Practicing the art of
Absolutely,
selling you on the
absolutely.
best part. You hear me?
Yes, speak on
Yeah.
that.
Practicing. Yeah, that's how we find it. So if I settle on the best part, hey, what would I have in my life? The best part. So that's it. Just practicing that, you know.
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah, so our topic today is the two pathways to stress. The two
Mm.
pathways to stress. And then what we can do about it. 'Cause we're all about the solutions, right?
Yes, 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 yes. And you know, because stress is a part of life. So it's the distress part that really is the problem, because on all aspects, construction, medicine, science, there's stress involved and it's not bad. So you find the strength of things, what I mean, as well, not just the weakness, but you also find the strength of it. So like I say, is when we get into that action of distress or the
Right.
reaction, because you're not in action part if you are under distress. You're now under the reaction. And that's where it becomes dangerous because, if you're not in charge of your life, then who is? You know what I mean? Like, so,
Exactly.
if you, right. And anytime that you forfeit your authority of your life, we shouldn't expect something to go right. That's like
Mm,
letting go of the wheel while you're on the beltway. You like, all right, even if you got one of
right.
them new Teslas that can drive by itself. Yeah,
Drive itself.
right.
Don't
Yeah, yeah,
drive
yeah,
itself
yeah, yeah,
propelled.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that's
Yes.
no different than God over our life. But when you turn to God, God said, I ain't gonna change your condition until you change what's in your
You
heart
change
first. So right,
exactly.
it comes right back to us.
Right.
And that's what opens the door for the introduction of stress in our life. And it's me really not recognizing my own power, and ability, because that's how life moves off of us. You know what I mean? So we put ourselves in all of the conditions that we find ourselves in, good or bad. I signed up for college, got my degree. Yay! You know what I mean? I went out,
Right.
joined the gang, got locked up. Boo! But either way, it was me moving. You know what I'm saying?
Your
So
choice.
when we look
Right.
right, and it's no different than stress. It's no different than opening up the door for stress. It becomes a choice. I'm choosing not to be active in my life. I'm choosing to be reactionary for whatever reason. I'm not saying that you don't have I'm saying we just get into the nuts and bolts. You know what I mean? So we can learn how to control it, manage it, overcome it, prevent it, all that good stuff, because the things that we're going to offer, they're really, we don't want to live. the rest of our lives trying to manage our stress, because it might cost you the rest of your life.
Wow.
Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So because stress is that underlying factor, it shuts off our body. We can't get around, even if I don't feel it. It's meant for
Right.
me not to feel it. We got to understand that fight or flight is meant for you to go through it and not feel it until after, when you done used all that energy and now you tired. Look at it over there sleeping like a baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get the yawning. You know, at the end of the fight, after the excitement, now you get the yawn, because you're not meant to feel it until after the event is over. The longer the event, the longer the recovery, because we've used that much energy for that prolonged period of time.
Right.
And this is the importance of breaking that stress cycle, because while I'm in it, okay, for the first duration, it's healthy, because this is a healthy factor. This is a part of life. It's built in. Now, depending on what is pushing me, if it's a fear of darkness, a fear of snakes, a fear of spiders, a fear of the white man, a fear of this,
Right.
now, or anger or depression, if it's triggered by those, see, now those go from hours to days to weeks to months to years. Yeah, man, years. Yes. You know what I mean? What? Shoo! And it can create that learned behavior, because anything that I repeat becomes a pattern. Now, if my brain attaches dopamine to it, it becomes an addiction.
A reward.
See?
Right.
Yes. You see, but if I repeat it, that's learned behavior, right? That's a pattern, right? I'm creating muscle memory. I can stop it, because now if my brain decides to attach dopamine, and we're dealing with stress now. So if one of these stressful actions, my brain attaches dopamine to it, now it will cause me to do it again just to get the dopamine.
Right.
Even
instead
if
of learning another way to get the dopamine. Right. A healthier way to get the dopamine.
Exactly. And that's what while we getting ready, because we're going to get into the science, but sometimes it's good to lead with the solutions first. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So we set the stage for the solution, and now as we get into what'd you say, sis?
Yeah. No, I said begin with the end in mind.
There you go. Get you the good, because that's the good part.
Right.
That's what you be waiting for. Like, come on, man, let's get to the solutions. All right. So, you know, we're going to speak about the two pathways, but you know, how to control it, manage it, eliminate it, whatever, prevent it. It's the same measures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a long list of measures that can, because we're looking at in a nervous system, a physiological, in a hormone, a metabolical. So those two systems are involved with stress, neurological and metabolical. So you have to, it's not too many things that could break that, because this is hormones and it's electricity. You know, sister, you know, with the aromatherapy, which we've used, new bodybuilders, before they go lift 500 pounds, they will take that smelling salt, right? In battle, they would have music and they would have the smells going on to lift your spirit, to break you up out of the fear and the anger and the depression. So now you got a peace of mind, you present, right? oh man, it ain't that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you got
right.
something for us over there, sis. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to
Uh-huh.
say walaikum salam to the family. Sister Dr. Eminence is on with us. Brother Kente, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. But
Yes,
yes,
we sure do.
one essential oil that comes to mind immediately is eucalyptus. As soon as you
Mm,
inhale it, it helps to um, lower your cortisol hormone, which is our stress hormone, right? Within
mm,
22 seconds of inhaling, and all you have to do is, take the top off or put a drop in your
mm.
hands, couple of drops, rub your hands together and inhale and exhale deeply. That is a great way to immediately start to lower that stress hormone.
Yes.
It's very effective, very good has an affinity for the respiratory system. So you're getting your
Mm,
oxygen because you're deep breathing and you're
hmm.
lowering your stress levels. Yeah, that's one of my top oils for that. Also, lavender
Hmm.
helps to lower that cortisol level as well. It's very relaxing, calming, so it's going to help you to de-stress.
Mm.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
you said you got eucalyptus and you got
Lavender, eucalyptus. What's another good one? Um, Cedarwood is good. It's a natural, actually, cedarwood is a natural sedative, especially for those that
mm,
have a hard time getting a good night's rest, a good night's sleep,
true that.
insomniacs.
Very stressful.
Very good for that.
Very,
Right.
very stressful.
That's
Yeah,
another
very stressful.
stressor. Stress it out because you
Yeah,
can't get any rest.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
So
Um,
what we have on the board, Brother Sean?
I don't know, man. I'm just writing while you talking. You know, because sometimes we can get lost in the science, man, and we will go so deep into the symptoms and the signs and the side effects that we really lose sight. And that stuff could be a lot, and the
Mhm.
solutions are so aren't a lot, and it could
Simple.
override the brain, and make the brain not compute the solutions because it's being fed with the symptoms and the side effects and all of that and the science that comes with it. You know what I mean? When it's really um as simple as, like I said, sometimes because stress is a part of life. We're not trying to necessarily get rid of it, but we want
Right.
to understand the good versus the bad, if you will, distress versus eustress, because I can place stress on myself to prepare myself, or I can place stress on myself and weaken myself. So it's
Right.
only one of them two gears that we are operating on. Unfortunately, many of us are on the distress, but we just do not understand how detrimental it is to our health because we don't feel it. So we could have the side effects, but think I got a cold, or think it's COVID, or think it's this, or my sinuses. But hold up, do we really understand? Because stress shuts off your body. So your
Yeah.
sinuses aren't working under the stress response. You know what I mean? The digestive system. So we looking at the sisters with the fupas and the brothers that's trying to overcome obesity and collecting a lot of food in our stomachs, prostate cancer, that system is shut off during stress. So that part
Right.
of the body, stress doesn't need it. So it takes its energy and its life. So the body can't overcome those things because we wake up under stress. We hate our
Right.
jobs. Some of us hate our neighborhoods, our neighbors. Man, I can't trust. I can't. We under this umbrella, but it's designed for us to not feel it. So we can skate through it
Mhm.
because stress gives energy. It produces energy. It's
Right.
powerful energy at that because it's fight or flight. So,
Makes you move.
right. And sometimes that's what gets us through our day until 30, 40, 50, 60 years of doing that. We start to accumulate that wear and tear. Now the body is getting old and wrinkled and crumpled. I can't hold myself up because stress is physiological, our nervous system,
Mhm.
and it's metabolical, our endocrine system. And if you spend majority of your life with both of those symptoms hijacked, neuropathy,
Right.
cognitive disabilities, right? Arthritis, all of those things. Then you have your thyroid issues, the ovarian, the reproductive system issues, the digestive system issues, as I spoke about earlier. But when we're looking
Right.
like the two pathways, 'cause we do want to go on to the topic. If you ready to go
Okay.
there, sis?
Yes, definitely.
I
You
mean,
ready
yeah,
for the
that is our
slides?
topic. Yeah, yeah, we can. Yeah,
Yes.
let's get into it.
All right.
Let's get into it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And that's what this is, just the slide. What we ready to show y'all on the slides is basically what we ready to talk about. And
Is that the
that
one?
is it's yeah. So I mean it's a factor. It's all going into what we talk about. Is what we need to know to understand what is involved in the stress factor and how we should expect to feel from it. So when we're looking at that, the stress response, you got two. You got the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, and you have the sympathetic, adrenal, medulla axis. And both of them hit the same place, the adrenal glands. One produces cortisol, the HPA axis, and the SAMS axis produces adrenaline. So when we're looking at this, the body, energy metabolism, metabolic changes, immune system activation, digestion suppression, reproduction shutdown. That's from the HPA hormonal or metabolic axis. That's what happens. Now, from the SAMS axis, we get non-genomic effects, immune reactivity. So when you're looking at autoimmune diseases and such like that, that's happening in the brain, the body, and we also had genomic effects and epigenetic programming. And we know that epi means on or above in the genes, of course. So it's the influence on our genetic expression. And
Right.
stress because it's electrical, it's our nervous system, and it's chemical, our endocrine system. So not only does it affect them, but what it produces changes us into that.
Right.
That's you
Yes.
become stressed. You become stressed. You are what you think. You like they go take your blood. It's stress. They like, man, they take your
Right.
blood pressure. It's like all your numbers and tests is like come back to you being a stress. You just being stressed. And we can't live that long. You know what I mean? You could, when you're ready, you could put a one of the other slides before I go into.
Okay.
How many did I send you this time? Was it two? It was two, right?
Three. It was three.
Thi- Now this is the physical representation of what's on the board, where you have they both start in the brain. One is the sympathetic neurons, and that's the autonomic nervous system. That's just your brain and your brain stem. That's it. And it goes directly down your brain stem, directly to the adrenal glands. And on the HPA axis, we see that it's a combination of the hypothalamus activating the anterior pituitary gland, activating the adrenal cortex, and that's producing the metabolic effects. So when
Right.
we cause stress, this is what's happening simultaneously. Right? So we are, and this is important because once we induce it, once we cause it, we have to know how to quickly get ourselves
Get
out.
out of it.
Right. That movie Get Out. You see?
Yes.
And
And
it's
see,
only
that's
uh
the power
yes, ma'am.
of the essential oils and the
Yes,
aromatherapy is that it puts you back in that rest and digest.
exactly. Because the opposite of the sympathetic is the parasympathetic. And
Parasympathetic. Right.
yes, yes,
It
yes, yes.
immediately does that. That's mainly, that's what it's really about, is to help you to come out of that stressful situation.
Yes, 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 yes. And it's easy to be triggered. I mean,
Hmm.
especially, living in this world where it's fed on the lower frequencies, the music, everything is low frequencies, the food, the
Right.
sights, the sounds, you know what I mean? You can hear scream, what was that? It's hard to determine screams of joy to screams of anger or pain or fear,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because you always hearing this. So the fear, they get the show, Fear Factor. You know what I mean? Like the scary
Fear factor.
rides, the all of these things, they condition us because we are not supposed to feel the stress response. We just we can feel the energy from it. You feel what I'm saying? We don't feel the what it's doing because it's supposed to get us through it not regularly. So
Mm.
these things give us power in it, especially if that's the only way I know how to induce power in me. Now I'm going to be seeking these. I might not even know I'm doing it, but this is metabolical. So my body can become addicted to cortisol. It's
Hmm.
from the adrenaline side. This is that
Right.
alert. Adrenaline, this is seconds. So the sympathetic adrenal medullary axis is seconds, it's instantaneous. So your blood pressure instantly goes up, the heart rate instantly goes up. The cock, you on a, it's like, what was that?
Right.
Whew, you on the swivel, but this is so people that suffer from high blood pressure, hypertension, right? That
Hmm.
excessive tachycardia, this is the root of it because you're producing adrenaline.
Right.
One of the immediate side effects is those area levels become raised. You know what I mean? Over here, cortisol. This is this, it becomes corrosive when it becomes overabundant. So now that it it starts to corrode and wear down the body because it's too much. And it causes the body uses insulin to metabolize cortisol. So now those with type 2 diabetes,
Yes,
insulin
I was about
problems.
to, right. It's
You
not always you ate too much, you know,
it's
too
not.
many sweets or sugars. It's that stress.
It's not. I don't it's not to it's not. It's not a person that experiences either diabetes 1 or 2 that isn't controlling their diet and still experience insulin problems. It's not one. They don't all, they get it right because the first thing you want to do is try to get it right. And
Right.
then once you try that and you see your numbers still don't change, you just give up eating right. I tried. The salad, I'm still, everything's spiking me. So because we don't understand that majority of us, as soon as they tell you you got diabetes, you under stress. As soon as they say, hey, brother Ali, you got cancer, you under stress. You got COVID, you under stress.
And your blood pressure don't go up until you go to your doctor's appointment.
Right.
Blood pressure good before then.
So, but that's a part. So the oil, like I say, that's what we always, especially with stress, with this, because the oils counteract. They stop the HPA in the SAM's axis. So they take you out of fight and flight because this is what sets up fight or flight. Fight or flight is activated by the SAMs, by adrenaline. So the adrenaline will prepare the body to fight or flight. And that because cortisol, this is fast. This is the electrical system. This has got to go through the bloodstream. This has to be produced and travel to the blood. So that takes time compared to this. So this sets the stage. Now, when we're looking at breaking stress, it's about breaking that electrical, that physiological effect first. And aromatherapy is great because those molecules, you aren't ingesting those molecules, right? So you don't have it being broken down and now being dispersed through the bloodstream. It's hitting the brain. It goes right.
Yeah, that's why it's called aromatherapy. You have to inhale it, smell it, and it goes directly to the brain.
Absolutely. Brain. Having that physiological effect, breaking the SAM's axis, sending you from the because the S is sympathetic for the sympathetic nervous system, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. What's that, sis?
That's that rest and digest.
That's that. What is it again? For the people in the back?
And digest.
So when you got indigestion, when you got, what was the, you was talking about the sleep problems earlier?
Insomnia.
What is the opposite of this? What is parasympathetics? One more time.
Right. Rest and digest.
Come on, man. You see, so when we're looking, this is and we wanted to really go into this show because we really have to understand that impact that stress has. And if we look at it from this scientific perspective of, okay, this is the systems this is how stress is manifested in the body. Right. From the electrical and a metabolic. So the oils, they stop this and they help you so if this is the HPA axis, right? Now, if I stop the stress response and I just go to the HP, see, I don't need my body because oxytocin, endorphins, they come from the pituitary gland. So I don't need my body. I can just use the HP axis and produce love, produce painkillers, right? The precursor for serotonin is in the brainstem, even though it causes the liver to produce it, but the brainstem produces that. So I don't need my body to produce happy or good hormones. I just need to have my brain not activated by stress.
Right. Wow.
You see?
That's powerful.
See? Right. You know what I mean? So just all we did was smell some oils, man. Listen. That's it.
Simple as
Yo,
that.
how long it takes, sis?
22 seconds.
Man, listen. While you sitting there and you registering your blood pressure, while you sit there and you waiting on this 1 minute cycle to go, you could be inhaling some oils and you could
Right.
literally watch. You could literally watch the physiological, because the heartbeat, it measures your heartbeat and it measures your blood pressure. So the heartbeat is electrical, right? It's those pacemakers that send that could cause the contraction. So you could literally watch the physiological and metabolic effects that aromatherapy have on your body just by going through a simple blood pressure monitor reading. That's it. Bam. And watch your heartbeat go boom, 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 boom. Watch that blood pressure go creep on down.
Go down. That's right.
Come on, man.
I bear witness.
I'm,
When my
so
blood pressure is elevated, I'm like, I'm the product of my own product.
praise be. Come on, sis. Come on.
Inhale some lavender. And lavender relaxes your blood vessels. So, yeah. Immediately
that opens them
within
up.
a few
Opens
seconds,
them up.
opens it up so their blood can flow and lower that pressure.
Yep. The only thing works is love. The only thing more powerful is love. Would you ready to say, sis?
Right. No, I was saying if anybody out there is dealing with hypertension, high blood pressure, definitely contact me. Get you some lavender oil or a nice blend that will help you with that.
Or diabetes too. This is the root to blood pressure and diabetes. I mean, this is for those that are struggling with it. For those that haven't found the solution or remedy, and you don't went from that person, that even you don't went to online people. You don't you looking so you
forever.
That's what I'm saying. So because something is still causing it, your body is trying to fix it. The medications or herbs or whatever, they're supposed to help your body overcome it. So the only thing that could be left is you interfering with is the stress factor. Because we don't know what stress really is. It goes beyond anger. It goes beyond sadness and depression. You could exercise that high intensity, that HIIT training, stress factor. You sitting too long or sitting wrong, stress factor. Sleeping, laying wrong, stress factor. Any of these things can activate that SAMS, which is perceived stress, perceived anger, perceived threat. A lot of these that you could breathe wrong. If you breathe like a stressed person, you will activate the stress response. So, you know what I mean? Like our regular life, majority of it is probably stressful, but because we're not supposed to feel it, it's at the end. If you're always sluggish at the end of your day, if you're always tired at the end of your day, if you can't manage your blood pressure and diabetes and these things are usually signs of that stress factor.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. You said you had another slide before we close out? Because I know sis got something to do. Yeah. I forgot which one it was. I know you said it was 3 though.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay, here we go. And that's stressors. The HPA SAM axis, right? So, and it's another look, the anterior pituitary versus the sympathetic spinal nerves. The adrenal cortex leads to, and is producing cortisol to the target organs. Now you're looking at the medulla is producing adrenaline and noradrenaline to the target organs. And if you can see in the pink, it has the side effects, reduces immune responses,
Right.
and it increases inflammation, increases catabolic, influences blood pressure, plasma glucose concentration. Uh-oh.
Mm,
Uh, salt
right.
water balance. Oh, salt water balance. That bloating, that
That's
bloating.
right. Those
Okay.
swollen feet and legs.
And fingers
Swollen
and
ankles.
phalanges. Yeah, that's
Wow.
on the cortisol side. That's from having too much cortisol. Now, on the adrenaline side, the physiological effects increases alertness, energy, substrate mobilization, plasma glucose, and cardiovascular responsivity, redirects cardio output to muscles, heart, and lungs. So guess what? See, it takes your blood flow,
Right.
your life, and it devotes it to your heart, your lungs, and your muscles. So that means your
Right.
reproductive system, your digestive system, your endocrine system, your thyroid, all of that stuff is shut off for the duration. So if you are waking up to perceive stress, man, I don't even want to wake up. Ah, man. We start our day under the cortisol awakening response. We are supposed to get up and exercise and switch gears, but we don't. So cortisol wakes us up. We are under the response. And now we get triggered on the commute. We get triggered, leave me alone.
Right.
We get triggered. We continuously get triggered. All of these systems are shut off. We do this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So by the time we get in our late 40s and 50s and 60s, we
Broke
start to
down.
now we can see it now. But nobody ever tell us it's stress. So I continue
Exactly.
I don't stop. I don't stop stressing myself out.
Right. And
So
especially with diabetes, the
mhm.
doctors don't tell the patients it's, to lower your stress. They mainly focus on what they're eating.
Well, that depends on who you go to though. You know what I mean? They go to doctors that only, you know,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like if they come, that depends on who they go. Like if you run to the
Exactly.
ER, you're gonna get an ER response, which is a prescription.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you go to a herbalist, herbologist, you're gonna get an herb. So if you're looking for a herb, you can't go to the ER looking for a herb.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Right. Your insurance might not even cover that. You know what I mean? So this is where, but that's where that, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, but that's where we don't do our due diligence, because they've always said, get a second opinion. That's always been knowledge, get a second opinion. You know what I mean? Because I could be wrong. You know what I mean? So what I see and what I learned that this could be might not be what you see and what you learned it could be. That doesn't
Mm.
mean I'm right, you're wrong, or you're wrong, I'm right. It's just what we studied, what we learned. We have to take that into an account when we think something is wrong and we go to seek advice,
Hmm.
you know. But they're not going to you. The only place you're gonna find this is here.
Right.
I didn't put the slides together, of course, but I'm saying the correlation.
Right. Bringing it to the forefront for those of us that don't know.
And they're not gonna give you one solution that could stop both of these. Aromatherapy. It can break both of those simultaneously, just like both of these are happening at the same time. One is just quicker than the other. But this is the stress response, physiological, metabolic. So whatever you're going to use as a therapy has to do both, and it should do it at the same time. Aromatherapy hits the same place stress comes from, your brain. Exactly. Oh, come on, man. You're not trying to go through your stomach, through your intestines, through your liver, through your bloodstream to come up to your brain. That takes a while. That's what cortisol has to do.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Brother Kente asks, where can I get some of the essential oils from me, Brother Kente?
Right there. That would be your best source.
Send me a message.
Mm-hmm. Because you can find them. I mean, they literally sold almost everywhere. You know what I mean? The difference is, if you don't know the difference, then that's the part. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the dollar store might sell them. But what are they? You know what I mean? So
be the best sourced.
Exactly.
But I hope, yes. And Sister Cassandra's with us. Peace, sis. Thank you for tuning in. You've been catching us on the end, Sister Cassandra. Late class.
Yeah. This is the second week in a row. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me see if we have any more comments or questions.
And this is, but like you say, when we looking at how to overcome these things, outside of, drugs or alcohol, that's it. It's nothing, and they take your mind away. That's why people do those things, because they take me out of that. They take those feelings away. They suppress them.
Right.
They help me create the oxytocin, the endorphins, the dopamine. You know what I mean? So, but you crash from those. You don't crash from aromatherapy.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you don't. You can tell when it's out, because you be like, man, I feel so you can tell if your diffuser stopped. You like, and you don't smell it no more, or you don't feel the effects. Then you go, oh shit, now let me go restart it. But other than that, it's no negative side effects from aromatherapy at all.
It sure isn't.
Yeah. And nothing can make that claim. Not sea moss, not moringa, not whatever you can put out as far as eating or drinking. Right. There's always side effects to anything you put in your body. Right.
Exactly. And with the essential oils, some of them can be ingested, but you need to know which ones and how to properly use it. I will say that.
Yeah.
That's where you want to contact your aromatherapist.
Yes. Yeah. Even I don't go on that side too much.
Right.
That eating them, man, because it's got to be something. I got to need it. I have to need it for me to just want to eat, because I understand. Right. But I understand how, because 2 drops could be too much. Yeah, because they're concentrated. So you're looking at a concentrated form of that plant, so this is drop dosages, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Yes, sir. Well, we are going to put a pin in it right here
yeah,
on this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. You can reach out to me if you have any questions or need any of the essential oils. Definitely reach out to me. Brother Kente, Dr. Sister Eminence, Sister Cassandra, thank you all for tuning in. And those that watch this on the replay, thank you as well. All right. Any
yes.
closing words, Brother Sean?
No, we appreciate you. Thank you, family. Have a
All
great
right.
day. All that good stuff. Yeah, yes.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.